What looked like resolution was only compression. When threats merge instead of disappear, danger doesn't end. It escalates. False victory is often the most dangerous moment. When options disappear, groups default to force. Collective action feels powerful, but desperation distorts judgment. The mistake isn't attacking, it's assuming unity guarantees survival. In moments like this, escalation doesn't save everyone. It only reveals who remains. Escape creates relief, but relief invites mistakes. A single lapse is all a predator needs. Gracie restrains instinct before it turns fatal. Sometimes survival means delaying the fight, but against overwhelming skill, shelter becomes meaningless. This is where fear crosses a line. The threat doesn't eliminate, it converts. Transformation becomes a weapon, because losing someone is more devastating than losing control. Failure hits hardest after loss. When effort collapses, doubt follows quickly. Gracie's silence isn't weakness, it's shock. In moments like this, people don't need answers, they need permission to keep going. Dan doesn't restore confidence with logic, but with presence. Reassurance becomes resistance, yet even as resolve returns, danger hasn't disappeared. Threats don't always break through the front. Sometimes they wait behind what still looks intact. This moment changes the logic of the crisis. What appears to be further corruption becomes interruption. The sound doesn't fight the transformation, it disrupts it. Fear freezes into confusion as instinct loses control. For the first time, the threat reacts instead of advancing. And that reaction reveals something critical: the system isn't permanent. If transformation can be interrupted, it can be reversed. Hope doesn't arrive loudly here, it arrives quietly through understanding. Hope invites coordination, but chaos rarely waits. Before plans can solidify, sacrifice intervenes. Loss arrives mid-decision, forcing urgency over certainty. Under pressure, survival shifts toward intention. Not escape, but movement toward a final objective. This is where pressure reaches its peak. Gracie isn't fighting the threat, she's racing time. Large systems don't collapse from force alone. They collapse when timing is lost. Poot doesn't stand as defense, but as delay. Sometimes survival depends on buying seconds, not winning battles. Interference arrives when resolution is closest. Disruption at this stage isn't random, it's targeted. And just before transformation becomes irreversible, the environment speaks back, not through strength, but through memory. A familiar sound restores orientation. What once defined normality becomes the anchor that interrupts fear. When the sound spreads, the system finally breaks. Not through violence, but through overload. The frequency doesn't attack, it overwhelms. What once controlled others can no longer contain itself. Transformation begins to reverse, not by force, but by release. Fear loosens its grip as memory re-enters the space. Those who regain themselves don't resist, they resonate. Participation amplifies recovery. The louder the unity becomes, the weaker control grows. Identity returns before strength does, and as dominance collapses, scale loses meaning. What once towered shrinks back into insignificance. When the light returns, it doesn't signal victory over an enemy. It signals restoration. Not everything was destroyed, and what was lost found its way back. The story ends in relief and recovery. If you enjoyed this breakdown, follow for better videos and new stories ahead.